All right, good morning, everybody. Fernando Spagnuolo, the police chief of the city of Waterbury. I wanted to give an update on the September 23rd triple shooting that we had here in the city. We had three parties that were shot in the evening hours, September 23rd, last Thursday, in the 500 block of Congress Avenue here in the city. Through investigative means and some diligent police work, our detectives have been able to identify parties that were responsible for these shootings. We've arrested Derek St. Hilaire, 21 years old, for his part in the shooting. He is charged with assault first degree and a number of different weapons charges. We have identified a second party, Thomas West, 18-year-old Thomas West, who has also been connected to the shootings, both the earlier shooting at about 6:30 and the shooting that occurred about a half hour later in the 500 block of Congress Avenue, where a 10-year-old boy was shot in the ribcage area. Both parties are in custody. West is again charged with a number of different weapons violations, criminal attempted assault first. We anticipate more arrest warrants for West today as this investigation continues. West has also subsequently been charged with possession of stolen motor vehicles that were involved in these two shooting incidents last Thursday. And I'm really proud of the work that our folks have done here at the police department. And we're going to continue to keep this investigation ongoing. We know that it's all tied into group violence. We know that it stems from auto theft. There were two juveniles that were arrested that were in possession of stolen automobiles that were also used in these shootings over the course of the weekend. And those investigations will continue.
Those are two juveniles in addition to 18-year-olds.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain West's involvement? Like, how is he connected to both of these?
So this all stems around group violence. Thomas West is very familiar to the Waterbury Police Department. We've seen his acts of violence escalate up until this point where he's involved in this shooting. And this is a lot of what we've been talking about over the course of the last several years of what's going on in our community.
So, it was my understanding that potentially Derek shot a woman at 6:30 at night on Thursday, and then who do you think shot Derek?
So we believe that West was the intended target of that shooting earlier in the evening, and that West was involved in weapons violations during that particular incident, as well as about a half hour later in the 500 block of Congress Avenue.
But you're not specifying who you think shot Derek at this point? Was it West or one of these shooters?
Well, this is an ongoing investigation. Thomas West has been charged and connected with that particular shooting, or both of those shootings. So we have a little bit more work to do, and we could probably give you an update through press release this afternoon on that.
We talk about stolen motor vehicles. I guess it's a statewide problem. We think maybe that the stolen vehicles these juveniles were in possession of, or the West was in possession of, came from maybe other municipalities as well?
They did come from other municipalities in the greater Waterbury area. So we've got these two shooting incidents, and we have at least three stolen motor vehicles that were involved in those particular incidents.
Could you talk a little bit more about juvenile crime this year and last year, and how it's compared or maybe increased from previous years?
I'm sorry, juvenile crime?
Yeah, and how.
Right. So we've seen a tremendous uptick in stolen automobiles, throughout the state. Certainly here in Waterbury, we've seen a great increase in the amount of cars that we've recovered from outside the community. And we've seen an increase in the amount of recidivism that's been engaged in by juveniles that are stealing these cars.
And what are some of the other measures that Waterbury police are taking to try to fight that?
So, a lot of community outreach regarding stolen motor vehicles. We ask our community to make sure that they lock their vehicles. It's really important. Listen, even at the gas pump at this point, you need to take the key fob out of your car. There's a very small group of juveniles and young adults that are responsible for the majority of the auto theft and violent crime that's occurring in the city. And there's a limited amount of accountability that's available through law enforcement and the judicial system for them right now. So it's out of control, frankly. There's a lot of innocent people that are having their property damaged, being at a minimum inconvenienced by having their vehicles stolen or property stolen from their vehicles, to serious violent crime that's occurring and shootings that are occurring. It's a difficult situation. Anything else?
And when you say minimum consequences, can you go into more depth, or are they just being released to their parents, and how many times does it take them to steal something for there to be more severe consequences?
We've seen a lot of recidivism occurring with the juveniles that are engaged in this activity. We're working with the Juvenile Prosecutor's Office. We've been working with Court Support Services Division. We've been working with some of the advocates that are out there. But there's an issue. Whether it's lack of services, whether there's some research that needs to be done in how we're handling juveniles that engage in these serious violent crimes in the justice system. We need to look at that.
I know last week you said the 10-year-old boy was hit in the rib. He was expected to be okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any update? Is he okay?
Yeah, these were all non-life-threatening injuries. Everyone that was struck by gunfire last Thursday is doing okay. I'm not sure of his exact medical condition or any of their exact medical conditions at this point, but they're all on the road to recovery. Anything else?
Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, thanks.